Live from our studios here at Kukumimi in Accra, this is Joy Newsroom with me, Carlos Kaloni. Coming up this hour, 3 persons are feared dead following a renewed communal conflict between the people of Kendio and Lasiotolo in the West district of the Upper West region. And the 2024 elections must be about ideas and policies to solve the problems that confront our people, not about tribes and religion. A call from Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as he leads the Muslim community to mark the Eid Adha. And as we celebrate Father's Day, the NDC flag bearer John Mahama challenges fathers to be responsible so they won't have to hide from their families.
There are people who are good at being fathers by creating children to be fathers. But it's not every father who is a responsible father.
And later on, where is the economic wizard as prices of goods are skyrocketing at market? NDC running mate Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman charged Vice President Bawumia.
I'm here listening to their cries. When they say they don't buy, the prices have gone higher. So what has caused that? We had an economic wizard in power. What has happened?
We are live on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125 on all social media platforms at Joy News on TV. Please stay for details. Thank you so much for joining us here on Joy Newsroom. Now, 3 persons are feared dead following a renewed communal conflict between the people of Kendio and Lasiotolo in the West district of the Upper West region. The death occurred following the exchange of gunshots between residents over the purported performance of a ritual. The Ghana Police Service has made some arrests and has deployed dozens of police personnel to the area to bring the situation under control. Joy News' Upper West regional correspondent Rafiq Salam joins us via Zoom with update on this story. Rafiq, thank you so much for your time. When did this happen and what was the ritual all about? Rafiq, I was asking what do we know about the ritual? Where did this incident actually happen?
The incident took place at Lasiotolo. You know, there are 2 freedom factions, 2 ethnic groups, the Kolhe and then the Brifo group. And so the information that we are building on indicated that these 2 factions have been fighting over land. So chieftains, so one of the groups went to Lasiotolo to perform the rituals for land, and then they were attacked by the other group. So we know that 3 people are now dead, and then also several sorts of people also received machete and also cudgel wounds and are receiving treatment at the municipal and regional hospital.
So what is the atmosphere in the area as we speak?
For now, the atmosphere is calm. There's uneasy calm at the area following yesterday's incident. The regional police have deployed several dozens of policemen to the area in order to stop the continued fight in the area. And so that's what we have gathered. But we have also gathered that the leadership of the 2 ethnic groups, the Kolhe and then also the Brifo, yesterday were also invited by the police, and we are also told that some of them were also released. A substantial amount of them were also released, but some are still remain at the police station.
Do we know what has happened to those who have been arrested by the police in connection with this incident?
The police for now really tight about the issue. We tried to contact them. They wouldn't give us any information, but they are saying that the people that they have arrested, they think that they are the leadership, they are the ones who are allegedly trying to foment trouble in the area. And so yesterday, after speaking to some of them, a substantial amount of them were released yesterday, leaving some of them for the police to continue questioning them to see whether they are really related to the incident that occurred yesterday.
All right, we're grateful to you. Rafiq is our correspondent in the Wa area. Now, let's get more perspective on this situation. Joining us via Zoom is Dr. Victor Doke. He's a lecturer at the Faculty of Academic Affairs and Research at the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center here in Accra. Doc, thank you so much. This is a recurring matter. Why do they keep recurring? Tell us. You have done a lot of work in this area. Doc, kindly unmute so we can hear you, sir.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, so good day to you and then your cherished viewers and listeners. Now, when you look at the northern part of Ghana itself, dated pre-colonial era, the system whereby there are syphilis and then syphilis societies existed. Now, that partitioning created a lot of issues when it comes to chieftaincy. So when you had the colonial masters coming in and preferring the syphilis societies because they were well organized and then they had a structure, so it made it difficult for the other societies to also come into play when it comes to administrative matters. Now, that area itself is noted for chieftaincy conflicts. Now, who ascends the skin has become a serious contention between intra-ethnic and inter-ethnic societies. We have no solution as it is now because these issues, as you said, keep recurring. Now, I think then we have to have a holistic approach to this.
Okay.
The National House of Chiefs, Regional House of Chiefs, they need to map out a strategy to come up with resolving all these chieftaincy issues once and for all, before it degenerates into something else. Because one of the conduits for armed groups coming is through chieftaincy conflicts, which are unresolved. So I think going forward, what has to be done is the clan heads, the chiefs, youth groups, civil societies should come together and then see to it that this chieftaincy conflict is resolved once and for all. And let's not forget the aspect of putting in measures to retrieve weapons that are in the system. We have not gotten anywhere with that. That's why you keep hearing armed violence over and over again.
All right, so we see that land litigation is also a part of the problem. From where you sit, how can we use land administration to solve some of these problems? I mean, better land administration policies.
It helps a lot. Now, when you have a better land administration, if the boundaries have been carved well, okay, if they were done well without no issues, agitations from either ethnic groups, then you could be best assured that these issues will not come up. But as it is now, we have not been able, okay, to map out the boundaries as to what belongs to whoever properly. That's why you keep hearing about these issues, okay, over land, over resources, over chieftaincy and all that. So we have to have a holistic strategy and map out all the boundaries and to know what belongs to who so we can solve these issues once and for all.
I see. So the Chieftaincy Ministry, for instance, should be up and doing. Specifically, what should they be doing so we're able to curb this from recurring specifics?
Now, Chieftaincy Ministry, I think if they lack ideas with regards to how to go about these issues, chieftaincy issues, I think one of the things I propose is to have a capacity building for all the heads, those who are mandated to look at chieftaincy conflicts, resolution of chieftaincy conflicts. We need to empower them. We need to train them for them to understand the dynamics. Most of the times, those we assign the roles of mediators or arbiters do not understand the historical antecedents between these ethnic groups. So when they go in, they don't know what they are going to do. Okay. Now, in sending emissaries, you send emissaries who are knowledgeable about the situation. Who the two sides all have agreed that they should come in and then mediate. Other than that, you will be sending people there. The funds will be going in waste, and then you will not solve an issue. So we need capacity building for the Chieftaincy Ministry and those particularly, with regards to going in to solve the issues.
Now, briefly, let's look at impacts of the situation on the communities, the residents within this community. How do we reduce impact on innocent civilians, women and children?
Yeah, one of the ways is as the police are deployed there to keep the peace, to stop the clashes, is one of the ways. Now, the other ways is to now go on sensitization, okay, educate the people that violence will not solve the issue. So whatever issues they have, they should come to the table and then iron it out. I'm also thinking or hoping that the National Peace Council would also be on the ground. Okay, civil society organizations, food-based organizations who work in those areas would also now map out a strategy and sensitize the youth, especially those who engage in the fighting, the youth, to stop the violence.
All right, we are in an election year. My final question, though, and the fear is that insurgents could take advantage of some of these situations to infiltrate our system. From where you sit, a security expert, what should the security services be doing as we speak so we can contain some of these pockets of disputes up north?
Okay, so the security services will be very restricted. Why do I say so? This is to ensure that we don't have infiltrations of armed groups or attacks or whatever. Now, the border towns, okay, around these areas need to be manned very well. Manning, we are talking about high-grade equipment, okay, that would ascertain or detect whatever that is coming through, either trucks, cargo. You scan goods that are coming in, so people do not smuggle arms and ammunition into the town. Now, aside that, you have to liaise. There has to be a strong bilateral or multilateral stakeholder consultation. Security services, the chiefs and the people in the town, CSO, state agencies, all have to come together and then map out a strategy, a response or an emergency strategy if and only if we have an issue like that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Doke, for speaking to us here on the Joy Newsroom on this story. We're grateful. Now, the right to education for thousands of school-going children, particularly in deprived communities in Ghana, is seeing a significant improvement. Many of these children found in areas such as Afram Plains North in the eastern region and Wilsard North in the upper east region are now able to read and write at their own, in their own mother tongue. This progress is due to a host of educational interventions rolled out in selected districts by the Ghana Education Service with UNICEF, Ghana, and funded by Jacobs Foundation. MFI Tiamwa has more in the following report.
Under the Complementary Basic Education Initiative, children who have never had a chance at education are assisted by specially trained facilitators at the community level. These facilitators help them learn the alphabet and their sounds, construct simple sentences, and read them out in their mother tongue. This approach also nurtures the ability to identify numbers and perform basic arithmetic.
Yeah. Yes, very good.
The differentiated learning module, on the other hand, encourages teachers to facilitate result-oriented learning through activity-based strategies in a more relaxed and playful manner. The focus is on the child's ability rather than their age or grade level in school. An education specialist with UNICEF and project lead for the Communities of Excellence program, Tilman Gwentha, shared with Joy News how impactful the program has been to the Afram Plains North District.
In total, in Afram Plains North, we have more than 15,000 children that are part of the 80 primary schools here in the district that are being part of the DL trainings. And so far within reading and writing, so in English, more than around 8,000 have moved up one level. So from level 1 to level 3 to level so on. And about 6,000 have moved in mathematics. So they have improved, essentially. When I say they have moved, they have improved their skills. And so key to this project overall is that we want to promote quality of education for foundational literacy and numeracy.
Kezia Sabia, head teacher of Donko Krum EP Primary School in Afram Plains, confirmed the improved outcomes. She was particularly excited about the program structure, which allows children to be taught at different and progressive levels according to their abilities rather than their age or existing academic grading system.
Formally, our students cannot read anything. So even during examination, we have to read and explain to them. But with the inception of DL, we've been able to make amazing improvements. In fact, before we started this program, those we would say they will be in level 3 were very few. They were about 10 at the lower primary. But with the inception of this program, now those in level 3 in English, they are more than 50.
In a typical differentiated learning setting, the use of everyday objects such as sticks, counters, stones, smaller class sizes, and extended facilitator-learner interactive sessions are common features. Learners have ample time to learn through playful activities with less focus on memorization and reproduction of information provided by their regular school teacher. With the support of their facilitators, learners at the Donko Krum EP Primary expressed the impact of these interventions on the academics on colored cardboards posted on the walls and pillars of their school blocks, bearing inscriptions such as DL lesson will expand your mind, skip DL class and forget your letter sounds, build your confidence through DL, among several others.
What we have seen is that within complementary-based education and children transitioning to the formal school requires that a formal school is close to the community. And often this is also a challenge in the first place of why children drop out. Okay. So here we need to work very closely with the receiving schools of the CBE graduates. We work with the head teachers. We sensitize them so that the school is ready to receive the CBE students.
The Communities of Excellence program is expected to conclude by November 2024. The program implements the Ghana Education Service with support from UNICEF and funded by the Jacobs Foundation are optimistic that the impressive outcomes and positive responses from beneficiary communities and the government of Ghana will be sustained to help preserve the gains made in the country's education sector, particularly in deprived and hard-to-reach communities. My name is Amafa Ewenam Atiamwa Eli for Joy News. From Plains.
Now, Municipal Director of Education for Ghana West, Victor Noye-Tewie, has emphasized the need for STEM education, describing it as key to our national development. He added that measures have been put in place by his municipality to ensure increased participation of STEM courses from pupils in public basic schools. He was speaking at the Kiddie Fest, an event organized by the Ghana West Municipal Directorate that gave pupils the opportunity to showcase their talent in Ghana's rich African culture.
STEM is very key to our national development, and as a municipality, we are taking keen interest in ensuring that STEM education is promoted. As I see to you now, the learners at the basic GHS 2 level or basic 8 are engaging in STEM practicals at one of the private schools that we have around. Last year, we were at the STEM center at Cantonment. This time around, we've identified a facility nearby where our children are visiting, just to know what exactly they have to offer. And in the long run, our objective is to ensure that children embrace STEM. The fear of STEM education or the fear of STEM is taken away of them, because we want to demystify it at the end of the day. So they appreciate what STEM is all about, knowing very well that is the future. If currently we are going to Crystal Heights, and they have a very wonderful STEM facility in their school. Very wonderful, both for physics, chemistry, and then the biology. And we have identified that we need to build some structure facility like that in the municipality, so that our public school children can also have access to such. If you go to the schools, you don't have anything like that. All the public schools, they don't have any STEM facility that is encouraging the learning of STEM. So going forward, we are looking at getting some partners in, so that we can have a STEM facility for our school children. If you can get it at the senior high school, we just make sure that we stock it very well with the materials and logistics that they need, and then we can have our children visiting these facilities so that the public schools can also have access to such wonderful facilities in terms of the STEM education.
Now let's shift our attention to health. The Cape Coast Teaching Hospital says the temporary suspension of dialysis services at the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital is due to some quality issues experienced last week in the course of their regular operations. According to the hospital management, the suspension is necessary to safeguard the continuous quality of care and to protect the lives of its clients. These were contained in a press statement released by the management of the hospital, which we're going to look at now on your screen shortly. But I have been joined by a patient, Thomas Khan, who has been patronizing the hospital. Thomas, thank you so much for joining us. What do you know about this particular shutdown?
Well, thank you for having me. So this happened last week.
Can you speak up a bit?
Yes, I'm saying that the incident happened last week when it became necessary for the hospital suspend dialysis service. And then this, we understand it had to do with some kind of issues with the water for the dialysis that it was necessary for them to protect us as patients. So when they explained, we understood because some of us were kind of reacting to the whole process. I, for one, at a point, I vomited like 3 times. So that tells you that it was important to check whatever was happening. So when they said it, it was really difficult for us, especially where to do the dialysis, because if you don't get with at the hospital, it means that you have to travel from distance, either to Accra or to Friday. Then so some of us had find solution to that, and at the moment, some of us resorted to going to a private theater, which was also comes at the High Court part. So it's a difficult situation, but again, it's something also not to put the life we present at risk. So somehow, it's something that caught us dilemma that we need to also bear with.
All right, Thomas, we are so grateful for your time and the details. Now, we've also been joined on Zoom by the Public Relations Officer of the hospital, Fred Nyanka. Fred, what are these quality issues you're talking about in the statement you issued?
Thank you very much for having me. So, like was rightly said by Thomas, last week we realized that some of our patients were reacting to the services that were being rendered. Some were getting weak, some were, different reactions. So authorities quickly had to come in and then start a quick investigation. Initially, we suspected the water supply, so we took some of our water for testing. The results was okay, so we tried again with a different water supply, and it was the same results, like people were reacting to it. So we sent that one too for testing. We are also checking out consumables, we are checking our tubes that we are using. So we are checking every other element at the unit to be sure that everything is safe. And so we are hoping that by the middle of this week, or latest by the end of this week, we should be back providing our dialysis session.
So as it stands now, you've not been able to establish exactly where the problem is coming from.
Exactly, because there are a few tests that we are waiting for the results, and that will confirm some of our suspicions. So we do not want to make any speculations since we do not have the exact results to confirm where the fault is coming from.
In terms of the quality assurance processes for the public to know, what is it? Run us through the process.
Okay, so when we talk about quality assurance, we are talking about the machines that we are using, even the room that we are using, the temperature in the room. We are looking at the water supply. We are looking at the consumables. We are looking at the tubes that the waters and the blood run through. Even the staff that is providing the service. Every element that goes around the provision of the service is part of our quality assurance process. And so we are making sure that all these elements go through the necessary testing. And so we are hoping that along the line, we know where the challenge is coming from. And then we go about, we start with our dialysis processes again. And like I said, throughout last week, throughout the weekend, and even today, we are still on site going through these checks, and we are hoping that beginning the week or latest by the end of the week, we should be back in full operation.
We are grateful for your time, sir. Still on health, the Minister of Health, Bernard Okoboy, has described as worrying the limited number of specialist hospitals for children, leaving them to compete for space at the general hospitals. He's concerned that despite its over 6 million population, Accra can only boast of one children's hospital. Inspecting works at the ongoing 120-bed capacity children's hospital at Weija, the sector minister underscored the need for more children's specialist hospital in the country. He assured of championing construction of such facilities across the country.
The United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 3 seeks to reduce by 1/3 premature mortality from diseases through prevention and treatment, and promote mental health and well-being among all, especially children. This, according to health experts, is largely attainable with the help of specialist attention and care for children in particular. Ghana, however, seems to be lagging behind in the provision of the specialist health care for children. The poor provision of these specialist facilities to cater for children, according to the Health Minister, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, is worrying.
Since 1992, the whole of Accra, population of now 6 million, we have just one children's hospital. Even that structure is very dilapidated. And I'm happy that the Kufado government has worked on this particular facility. If you go to big hospitals like Ridge Hospital, Kolibu, the children fight with the adults, fight use advisedly. They compete for theater space. So if the theater can do 20 surgeries, kids will be given about 3 or 4 spaces. This leads to a long waiting time for children before surgeries. Now that you have a facility meant only for kids, you wouldn't have an adult bringing his hernia here or a pregnant woman bringing the cesarean section here. It means that more corrective surgeries can be done for the children.
The 120-bed Weija Specialist Children's Hospital is among efforts to address the national challenge. Work on the World Bank-funded project is expected to be commissioned by September 2024. Dr. Bernard Okoboy said the hospital, upon completion, will ease the burden on general hospitals. He, however, stressed the need for the construction of more of such facilities in the country.
One advantage with having a specialist hospital is that because it's been designed for a particular purpose, this case for kids, it's able to attract specialists in that area. This facility has beds for, kids. They have VIP beds, they have common rooms. In fact, it also has a hostel for mothers. One thing I'm also excited about is that it has about 3 theaters. 2 big theaters, 1 micro theater connected to the emergency. Now, what does it mean? Immediately, a children's hospital has a theater. It will attract pediatric surgeons. That surgeons who handle particular cases for kids. And finally, I want to say that the timeline for finishing this project is September of this year. And looking at the speed with which the contractor is working, I believe strongly that this Kufado government would operationalize and have this facility benefit the people of Greater Accra before handing over power.
Prince Kudoges reports for Joy News.
During the Father's Day celebration with the men's ministry at the Assemblies of God Church, the National Democratic Congress, the NDC's flag bearer, took to the pulpit to challenge fathers to embrace their responsibilities and be present for their families. He emphasized that responsible fatherhood ensures that men do not feel the need to hide from their families, urging them to be role models and pillars of support. His message highlighted the importance of active and committed fatherhood in building strong, stable families and communities. Here are excerpts of his sermon.
I wish all the responsible fathers I qualified it. There are people who are good at being fathers by creating children to be fathers. But it's not every father who is a responsible father. So I said today we celebrate all responsible fathers in this church and all responsible fathers in Ghana. Because it's not easy to be a father. It's not easy to wake up in the morning and Auntie Lodina says, "Where is the chop money?" To put food on the table for your children, it's not easy to pay the rent. When the landlord is coming, you won't be the father who will go and hide under the bed. May God bless you all so that you won't have to hide under your beds when your landlord is coming. You'll be the father who would promptly pay your child's school fees and make sure that they go to school. May God bless all of us so that we'll be able to do that. You'll be the father who will pay the bills, water bill, electricity bill, and you go and bring somebody to come and do illegal connection in your house. May God grant all of us divine replenishment to be able to do so.
Well, over here at the Multimedia Group, the celebration of fathers continues. Our account platform in Accra, the Adom and Asempa teams have rolled out a day of exciting event for Papamo event, from free health screening, games, and night of good food. Event executive Charles Na tells us more. Hello, Charles. Kindly unmute so we can hear what you're saying. Hello, Na. So we're trying to establish connection with my colleague, Charles now. Yeah, so if you can hear me, I'm asking you, this whole event today for fathers, tell us more about it.
Okay, so basically this year we are celebrating inspiring fathers, fathers who have gone, father figures in society who have impacted the lives of children that has helped them to develop. So the child might have had their own parents or their own father, but there's another father figure who has inspired them. So we did, we ran a promotion and asked for entries, and people submitted the entries. And based on that, we selected some number of people that we are going to celebrate today. So come today on Father's Day. The program is in 4 forms. We are doing a prostate screening in partnership with Executive Prostate and Herbal Center, which is currently ongoing. It started at 9 o'clock and it's going to run till 5 p.m. this evening. And quite a number of people are coming in. So we're encouraging all men who are 35 years and above to make it a point to come through. It's free. They come here, come check their prostate, their BMI, their BP, their blood sugar, and it's all free, courtesy of Executive Prostate and Herbal Center. We also have the Fortune Margarine cooking that's happening here. It's a fun contest between our presenters and some fathers at our grounds here. That's also happening. And then we're going to have the Jama Wash and Feel promotion that's also going to run here. So we're going to have that will come in and compete to see who can wash clean clothes faster for some prizes and stuff. But the main celebration kicks off after church, which is just about now. And we're expecting the fathers to start coming in for the main celebration, which is going to feature music entertainment, food and drinks.
Tell us more about the food. Tell us more
well.
about the food. What are the fathers to expect when they come?
Oh, it's going to be a buffet treat, courtesy of our restaurants, Tasty Street restaurants. They are going to be catering for the fathers here. There's going to be drinks. There's going to be musical performance from Kofi Osu-Pepra, a gospel artist who's doing really well in the gospel space. There's going to be the carpet band, Sasem band, that's going to stand in to do the entertainment for the day and all of that. So it promises to be a fun day, and already started since the morning with the process screen and everything, and it promises to be a good day.
Thank you so much. Mr. Na is my colleague here at Multimedia Group. Meanwhile, communications professional George Quay and musician Ochame Kwame and Joy FM's Super Morning Show host Kojo Yangsen have this advice for fathers.
Words are not enough. You must demonstrate to your son or your daughter, particularly the daughters. Yeah. You know, they always say people have daddy issues. They never say people have mommy issues. Yeah. You know, so you have to demonstrate to your children that, look, you are there. You are there. They can take it for granted. Number 2 is listen. Listen to your kids.
My dad never saw me on stage. My mom saw me on stage once. My dad watched me on TV maybe once or twice. Oh. Not that he didn't want to, he just didn't have the time to. But these days, despite everything, fathers are making time. You know, so I think the narrative has changed and it's getting better.
I take them along on their own vacation. Yesterday I was with them the whole day. Today I'm with them for the whole of the vacation. At least 3 days out of the week, I am going to let them see my hustle. Not that I want anything from them, but I want my daughter to be able to appreciate her husband in the future. I want my son to see what's ahead of him. The most important thing that I do to sort of get affection from my children is that to love their mother.
You're still watching the Joy Newsroom with me, Carlos Caloni. We'll take a short break. We'll return with more. Please stay. Election Headquarters is brought to you by Petrosoy, your clean fuel in full quantity. Chartered Institute of Management Accountant, CIMA, and the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants and German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental Wellness and Duty. Election Headquarters for an informed electorate. Now, Vice President and flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, says the 2024 elections must be premised on ideas and policies and not that have the potency to resolve the country's challenges and not division on religion and tribe. As he marked the Muslim holiday Eid Adha at the forecourt of the State House, Dr. Bawumia stressed on guarding the religious coexistence the country enjoys. Here's excerpt. We'll bring you that later in our subsequent bulletin. Meanwhile, running mate of the National Democratic Congress, Professor Nana Jane Ajima, is questioning the competence and impact of Vice President and flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, in the management of the country's economy. Speaking to the media after interacting with traders at the World Daily Market who expressed worry about the increasing cost of goods, which is collapsing their business, Professor Nana Jane Ajima stated that despite the tag of the Vice President being an economic whiskey, it has been no reflection the lives of traders at the market. Joy News' Upper West regional correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from WA.
The running mate of the National Democratic Congress NDC, Professor Jane Nana Opukajiman, climaxed 3-day campaign tour of the Upper West region at the World Daily Market, where she interacted with sea of traders. It is Saturday and on the eve of the biggest Muslim festival, Eid al-Adha, or Festival of Sacrifice. One would have expected many to cram the market and even cover every inch of space to shop for the occasion, but it is not the case at a market which is about the size of 2 football fields. The trader says the poor economic conditions in the country is mirroring on the market. Prices of goods have been skyrocketing, pricing many of their prospective buyers out of the market. Professor Nana Jane Opukwajiman hopped from one table to the other, listening to their harrowing stories about inflation and the high cost of doing business.
First, no buy Juma, almost be fear that you back or manage Juma. Say, Oba, we are 300, 200, Oba, Yajuma. Nyadwe, first, I want to say, 10 city and other one. 10 city. Where 10 city, 10 city near. First, and the one city crown top. Say, 10 city. No, I want to do. No, why? John, work. I am 50%. 10 city near. When you know mama for a mama and daddy, yeah, Brian and Colin, I have bread. Moko way fancy, I die. Do not Moko way fancy, I die. Moko way fancy, I die. The hardest hit appears to be those selling perishables, especially who have a good market today to enable them celebrate the Eid, but with the low sales. That dream appears to be diminishing.
Things are really hard. Tomorrow is easy. We don't have customers, they don't buy things again. And when you come and no money for them to buy. So when they come to buy things and you show them prices, they start to complain. And it's not our fault too. It's because of how we bought things. That's how we also increase things. So we're not like this. And then taking care of your family too, it becomes too much on you. Because how you sell and then feed your family, you don't do it again. So everything is hard. It's very hard on us.
They are praying for the NDC to come to power to change their economic fortunes.
Kenny's were 2024.
We want John Dramani Mahama to win the 2024 elections so the prices of goods will reduce to enable us take care of our children. We are being strangled to death. Tomorrow is Eid. But look at the way we are sitting. Another is this butcher, Haruna Abu, popularly known as Abu Nawais. He's been in the business for close to 20 years. He says the increasing prices of cattle are making many of his colleagues to fold up their business. He says what Ghana needs are people who are truthful and can save the nation with all their heart. He pointed out that it is not the case of the current administration.
Now in Benjamin 10,000.
The cow we used to buy 10,000 Ghana cedis is now sold at 20 Ghana cedis. Some of our colleagues who used to contribute their monies to buy one cow for sale cannot do it again. This country needs people who are truthful. And that can be seen in Jane Nana Ajiman and John Dramani Mahama. We should vote for them to rescue this country.
24-hour economy, our debt to Ghana, to Tuaranga.
Professor Nana Jane Ajiman assured the traders that should the NDC win the December polls, they will work to improve the living conditions of the people.
We take care of women. We created all the facilities. We expanded this market, and the market is for women, and you know it. So we want you to begin by saying that NDC, we expanded this market. What more will we do? When you ask what we will do, it's as if we've never done anything, and you know it's not true.
So what
they are telling us.
What difference are you going to make?
What difference is what nobody has done in 8 years, and you know it as a journalist. They are talking about in 2016 and now. Who was in power in 2016? You know it, I know it. So why are they crying now? What has gone wrong? You do the research and tell us. What do you think has gone wrong? I'm here listening to their cries. When they say they don't buy, the prices have gone higher. So what has caused that? We had an economic wizard in power. What has happened?
Reporting for J News, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
Let's go back to our earlier story where Vice President and the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, says the 2024 elections must be premised on ideas and policies that have the potency to resolve the country's challenges and not divisions on religion and tribe. As he marked the Muslim holiday Eid Adha at the forecourt of the State House, Dr. Bawumia stressed on guarding the religious coexistence the country enjoys. Here are excerpts of his statement.
Drawn from Zungu communities who were granted a scholarship to study medicine in Cuba will return home soon as fully qualified medical doctors. This is what investing in education can do, creating opportunities, empowering the youth, breaking boundaries, and making the seemingly impossible possible. Your Eminence, in December, our country goes to the polls to elect a new president, as well as members of parliament. By the grace of the Almighty Allah, I will be on the ballot as presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, a development which I can only attribute to the special grace of Allah, or what we call Qadr. If I look back at my life trajectory as a young boy starting school in Sakasaka Primary in Tamale, all the way through being vice president today, I can only thank Allah for how far He has brought me. Over the years, I've been a beneficiary of your support, Chief Imam, as my father, your encouragement and prayers for our country and supporting His Excellency, the President, to realize his vision. I thank our father, especially on this day, Father's Day, our father, Sheikh Osman Nuhu Sherbatu, and all of you. As the Almighty Allah has blessed me with this new opportunity of seeking the mandate of Ghanaians to serve out our nation as president, I humbly ask for your continued support and prayers. Ghana is a blessed country. We are the most peaceful country in West Africa and probably about the fifth or so most peaceful country in the whole of Africa. Underpinning the peace that we are enjoying in Ghana is our religious tolerance. So as we go into this election in 2024, let us make it about ideas and solutions for the problems of our country. We live as Muslims and Christians in harmony, and we should not let this election be about religion or religious differences. We are one people, we are one nation, and we should let this election be about the policies and ideas and solutions that the respective candidates have for the country. And that should be what we should be focusing on.
Now, election headquarters is brought to you by Petrosoyo Clean Fuel in full quantity, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CIMA, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants, German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental Wellness and Beauty, Chopbox Technologies, a Convenience Service, and Youth Brigade Foundation. Election headquarters for an informed electorate. Now, before we go, she is an integral part of the Joy News Clean Ghana campaign, going into homes and markets with a news team to unravel faith engulfed parts of the city and taking initiatives to clean those places. For these and more, Accra Metropolitan Assembly's Director for Public Health, Florence Kuchi, has been awarded as the overall winner of the Sustainable Development Award held in Accra. Florence Kuchi says she and her outfit will not relent in their efforts to make Accra a clean city. There's more in the following report.
Filth remains one of the biggest challenges of the Greater Accra region, a region with over 5 million inhabitants. City authorities have been grappling with efforts to rid the city of filth. Florence Kuchi is AMS Metropolitan Director for Public Health and one of the centerpieces of the Joy News' Clean Ghana campaign. For a role in this initiative and others, She has been picked as the overall winner among persons working tirelessly to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. She says this award will spur her on to continue working to make Accra a clean city.
In fact, I am overwhelmed. Little did I know that the little things I was doing somewhere, people were noticing it. The feeling of being the overall winner for the Sustainable Development Award 2024 is something I cannot explain. I can't really explain it. So what I am telling my colleagues out there is, whenever you find yourself in something, please do it as if tomorrow never exists. When doing it, don't do it and then be looking back. People will pull you down, but when you fall down, that shouldn't be the end. You should wake up and know that the downfall of a man is not the end, but it is a turning point. This is what I have to say. And to whom much is given, much is expected. And I'm going to ensure that, being an environmental health officer, it is my duty to ensure cleanliness in the communities. And I'm going to re-enkindle it for us to have a clean city, a clean Ghana, and a clean Africa.
An assistant commissioner at the Ghana Revenue Authority, Dr. Martin Yamborgia, says all citizens must do their bit to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals.
And for all of us present here, I want us to all work towards a very sustainable environment, just to make sure that we don't destroy whatever that we are doing now, but at least we'll leave something for the future generation.
Founder and Executive Director of the African Youth for Sustainable Development, Samuel Apeti, explains why this award was instituted.
Now, acknowledge and celebrate those that are contributing towards the sustainable development goals in Africa. Now, the main reason is to make sure that doing this, others will see that there's a prize for participating.
That's all we have in this hour. You can log on to myjoyonline.com for more stories. My name is Carlos Caloni. Thank you so much for watching. The law is up next. Please stay.